Lally is what Potential Kid should have been. I know. It sounds crazy, but hear me out. It's commonplace to use the terms singer and DJ to describe recording artists, but there's another term that applies to some entertainers that we don't often hear: court jester. Essentially, a court jester is an entertainer who makes people laugh through animated, dramatized, or silly performances. So their craft is lighthearted, fun, nothing to take seriously. Zooming in on dancehall, one of the most brilliant illustrations of a court jester is Major Mackerel, whose vocal signature, comical lyrics, and animated delivery have cemented his place as one of the genre's most gifted entertainers.
Well, young man, if me ugly like you, I beg God ring out my face and put it for sun. 'Cause pretty looks done, and you not get none. The looks done and they no get none. Pretty looks done and they no get none.
We've seen several court jesters since then, including Tanta Blacks, social media sensations Cliff Twang and Mackerel, and of course, Potential Kid. Dwayne Taylor, a native of Trenchtown, Kingston, is pursuing a music career and even making the rounds with Vybz Kartel's Portmore Empire. By December, a studio freestyle of his takes off in the streets and he officially releases it as Ya So Nice. Within a month, he becomes dancehall's newest meteoric star.
I am so nice. I am so nice. I am so nice. I am so.
To understand the pull of the song and Potential Kid himself, it's important to consider the atmosphere at the time. Produced by Lance, the song's entrance was perfect for the daggering environment that had been engulfing dancehall since 2008. Many of the top names at the time, like Vybz Kartel, Idonia, and Mavado, were dominating the space by feeding into productions which imbued intense male-female dancing, heightened by ear-perking lyrics which brought out the freaks and fantasies of many dancehall patrons. Then comes Potential Kid. Dancehall is always open to welcoming at least one new star each year, and through his understanding of the musical climate at the time and his masterful court jester application, Potential Kid shot into overnight stardom. Ya So Nice essentially captures the trance of a young man in a whimsical relationship where the sex is unreal and the woman's abilities, no matter how basic, are wildly profound to him. He delineates this with animated, playful, and even dramatic intonations throughout the song, kinda reminiscent of Major Mackerel's delivery. He brings it together with a catchy hook and funny ad-libs, and it's altogether a song that's lighthearted with lyrics that aren't amazingly thought-provoking or impressive, but there was a space for that, and he took it. Potential Kid's brand image oozed youthful exuberance. His name represented his self-belief and youth, and his breakout song, whether he intended for it or not, crafted a brand image that was explicit, playful, silly, street, and youthful. And so with this hit song and brand image, Potential Kid started attracting deals all over, including a one-year contract with VP Records and a multi-million-dollar deal with Lime, now Flow. Interestingly, it was the explicitness of his claim to fame that resulted in Lime terminating their partnership with him. Coinciding with conversations at the time about daggering music, the song also reaped a backlash for its influence on youth. Nonetheless, Potential Kid proceeded with his playful yet raunchy brand image with follow-up songs like Urgency, Jump On, and Look Good Girl. Urgency followed a similar flow like Ya So Nice, and Potential Kid maintained the dramatic and animated elements.
She cock it up inna the tree and make the bird them see. So I never Phineas and never verb them see. Verb them see, coulda never nerd them see. And a Sesame Street.
There were even percussion similarities throughout the instrumental, which isn't surprising considering he worked with the same producer on the song. I get it, there's pressure on your follow-up after your first hit song, and artists sometimes feel they have to deliver the sound and style that worked. Well, it did. Urgency struck a chord locally and in territories like Trinidad. Jump On maintained the sexual theme of Potential Kid's brand, and by this time, Trinidad was eating him up. Look Good Girl, I have to say, stands out the most in terms of Potential's, at the attempt to venture beyond his signature style and to show some versatility. The pull of the song was him spelling some of the lyrics, but he was still using the same flow, and the song didn't quite blow up. And so, as one-hit wonders go, Potential Kid's fall came as quickly as his rise. To make matters worse, violence unsettled his community in 2015, leading police to name him a person of interest. Though his name was eventually cleared, Potential Kid shared that the experience not only put a negative strain on his brand, but affected him emotionally. And so in 2016, he took a hiatus from music. 2 years later, Romario Ricketts, an upcoming DJ from Jonestown, a community adjacent to Trenchtown which Potential Kid was from, had his breakout with What's on Sale. Going by the moniker Laa Lee, the DJ was in the company of friends and a box of cornflakes when he came up with the song and the infamous line, What's on Sale essentially is a toast to Laa Lee's sexual prowess. Through animated, dramatic, and silly tonalities, he hails himself as having a good reputation in the streets for being well endowed, even though he's small in stature. He pokes fun at men who aren't as well packaged and lets us know his private parts are very much in demand. It's a playful song, again, nothing to take seriously, and traditionally what some may even categorize as a throwaway song. But just like Ya So Nice packs on a catchy, funny hook, so too does What's on Sale, which made it an instant hit in the streets. Like Potential Kid, Lally's brand image spews youthful exuberance. It started out as energetic, fun, light-hearted, explicit, and street, and he was immediately scooped up by Friends for Real Productions and manager Cara Vickers. But also similar to Potential Kid, his breakout song soon reaped negative attention for its sexually laced lyrics and conversations on its impact on youth after he performed it at a primary school. Lally's defense at the time was that he performed the clean version and that he didn't intend for the song to blow up anyway. It reminded me of Ya So Nice, which Potential Kid just did as a playful freestyle in the studio, and it just so happened to take off. The differences between the brand image and artist profiles of Potential Kid and Laa Lee come into play when we consider that yes, Laa Lee got his break with a playful, silly song, but he was also marketed as a scholar who would be pursuing studies at the University of the West Indies. There was always this heavy messaging that music wouldn't be his end-all and that he intends to pursue higher studies. Beyond this, Lally was also adamant on not being a one-hit wonder as naysayers projected, which pushed his drive and ultimately engendered a slew of bangers which followed What's on Sale. Another thing that stands out when it comes to the artist profiles of Lally and Potential Kid is that even though they debuted with that court jester style, Lally diversified his catalog by not sticking to the explicit theme that he got his break with. He ventured into making dancing songs, which he's had even greater success with, like Bird, Dirt Bones, and The Tip in a It, while still feeding fans who love the sexual side of him with suggestive numbers like Fat Girls Matter and Bang Bing. Regardless of the material, Lally has also maintained that playful and animated vocal delivery which has transcended beyond the studio to the stage. It's amazing how Lally and the Potential Kid started with the same brand image, though they had their breakouts at different times, but Lally used elements that worked, like the chord gesture application. Even DJing style, they both slur their words on certain tracks. He added other elements like lyrical diversification to prevent a similar fate as Potential Kid. He's mastered the brand portfolio intentionally or unintentionally intended by Potential Kid. Incidentally, he too landed a brand ambassador deal with a telecommunications giant and had no scandal which led to its termination. As for the latest with Potential Kid, he's actually been getting a buzz over the last couple of months thanks to the viral Ice Cream Rhythm which samples Jump On. He also recently tied the knot and is still releasing music. I think if he reassesses and refines his artist brand, he can definitely find favor again on the local scene and beyond. As for Lally, he set the pace, he's been consistent, and even showed out as a live performer at Reggae Sumfest in July. I predict that he'll be around for a long time, granted he maintains a diverse catalog. Can you identify any other similarities between the brands of Potential Kid and Lally? Let's talk in the comments. Until next time, like and subscribe if you dig the vibe, and share this video with your tribe.